This is a reminder that Jesus went through one of the most gruesome deaths in history, and he could have backed out at any second. This post is going to hit home today because today's Good Friday, and I'm just reading through the gospel accounts and reading through Jesus' arrest, his scourging, all the way up to his crucifixion, and just how brutal it was. To start, he was betrayed by one of his own brothers, arrested, deprived of sleep, mocked, beaten, spat on, slapped, everything. Next came the scourging, where Jesus was stripped naked, shackled to the post, and beaten with a flagrum. And here's a visual of the flagrum and the scourging. They would attach these objects to the flagrum like sharp sheep bones, metal balls, things that could cut deep with lacerations, bruising, and leading to blood loss. Oftentimes, Roman scourges could lead to muscles, tendons, even internal organs being exposed. Think about it, like your kidneys, your intestines. Jesus was in so much blood loss that he entered a state of hypovolemic shock. Jesus was not only physically abused, but verbally abused as well. They started by giving him a scarlet robe to wear. They put a crown of thorns on his head, gave him a reed. Then they kneeled in front of him and said, "Hail, King of the Jews." Then they spit on him and struck him with the reed. All this stuff has taken place, and he has not even been crucified yet. After the arrest and the physical and the verbal abuse, to the point of where he has no energy, he's exhausted, and he's lost so much blood, they make him carry a cross. It's very heavy, anywhere from a quarter mile to up to a mile. He eventually collapsed due to those bodily limitations, and that's when Simon of Cyrene helps him carry the cross all the way to the hill of Golgotha. After all that, he finally reached the hill where he was going to be crucified, and they used these thick nails to drive through his wrists and his feet to get him up on that cross. I can't even imagine or fathom the pain and agony Jesus was going through being nailed to that cross, especially with all the moments leading up to this. You'll see his knees bent at a certain angle, and there's a reason for it. It turns out his knees were bent at a 45-degree angle, which means he had to force his weight alternately on his nailed feet and his dislocated shoulders. So it led to muscle cramps, more dislocations, and it was just not a natural position to be in. Breathing was very difficult for him on the cross with the way he was positioned. Plus, every time he'd move his back, it was scraping against the wood with all of those lacerations on his back already. And at a certain point, he couldn't lift himself anymore, leading to a slow suffocation. It's likely that his heart and lungs failed, and you see that when his lungs are filled with fluid because they pierce him with a spear and fluid comes pouring out. Between the blood loss, the suffocation, the exhaustion, the dehydration, between all the lacerations that expose his organs, his muscles, his tendons, that you don't even recognize him anymore, between all of his friends and closest people to him abandoning him and him being made a public display of mockery. And despite all of that, Jesus knew what he came here to do. He knew that he was the Passover lamb that needed to be sacrificed for us. If you're not a follower of Jesus, I pray that you come to know him, and I pray you come to understand what everything I just laid out, why it happened, the fact that it did happen, and what's going to come next. But for now, God bless.